Welcome back to Peppermint Juju. I am your Saturday host. Again, this video is late, but I've been really sick and um, I'm actually still sick, but I wanted to get this video out, out of the way. So this week's topic is death, and I don't know what to say about death. um, I've experienced quite a bit of death in my family from the time I was 7 or 8 when my grandfather died, and um, his death. And I've mentioned it, I think, on my channel before. I don't think I mentioned it in a video on this channel, but I had dreamt of his death, although at the time I did not know that's what the dream meant. Um, I didn't realize that that's what it was until months later when I told my grandmother and told her what happened in the dream, and she is the one that let me know that that's what I dreamt of, because it was a reoccurring dream that I had had. Matter of fact, I think I did talk about this. I think we had a topic on dreams. So, that was my first experience with death. Later on, I've had, several people in my family passed away. When I went to college, my great aunt and great uncle both passed away during my first 2 years of college. Though they were both my grandfather's brother and sister. And when I was in high school, my father died. When I was in my early 20s, my youngest sister died. I think she was 6 at the time. And what I've discovered is that through that process, especially with my sister dying, we all handle death in our own different ways. My mom, she for like a week really didn't get out of bed. Me, I ran away, so to speak. I didn't like run away really, but I stayed at my friend's house for like a week because of the fact that I couldn't handle having to be the strong one for everybody. I had to be the one that took care of everyone, didn't cry and things like that. And even at my sister's funeral, my cousin was there, and we grew up together, so he knew me from the time I was, yay high. We're like a few months apart. I'm a few months older than he is, and he said to me, "It's okay to cry," because he noticed that throughout the whole funeral I wasn't crying, and that's because I felt that I had to be the strong one for everybody. I had to be the one for everyone to lean on. So, yeah, we all tend to handle death differently. Some ways are not healthy, like the way in which I dealt with it, which was to run away and then to basically put it in a box and not deal with it. So I did things like I made it my business not to take note of what day it was when she died. And I really didn't deal with it. And that's unhealthy. It really is. You should always deal with your emotions, whether they're good or bad. They need to be dealt with. And I realized that when years later, I was watching Little House on the Prairie. And it was the episode where the blind school catches fire. And so Mary's baby and the friend of the family's, his wife, died in the fire. And that scene, and I've seen that many, many times, the episode many, many times growing up. But for some reason, that scene triggered something. And it just opened like this floodgate. And I just started crying and bawling my eyes out. And I think I literally cried for over half an hour. And that's when all these unresolved feelings that I had over my sister's death came up. And I had to deal with that. So it is unhealthy to run away. Death, we have to realize, is a natural part of life. It's part of a cycle. It's part of the cycle of, if you believe in, say, reincarnation, it's part of the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Or if you don't believe in reincarnation, it's still part of a cycle or a process. Everything that's born has to die. Everything that lives has to die at some point. And then you can even look at it as that death makes way for a new life, whether it be through reincarnation or just something that had to pass on in order for something else to come in. Um, I really don't know what else to say about death. It can be scary. It is very scary, but you must be strong. Um, the pain never dies, but it does diminish and it becomes bearable. But it should always be dealt with. Um, and yeah, death is a natural process. So for me, I feel all those who have passed on, whether it's, my family or whatever, I believe that they are in a better place, whether it is that they are residing in the afterlife, whether they are waiting to be reincarnated, whether they have been reincarnated. Everything is not without purpose, even death. There is a purpose for it. It is a natural process and it has to happen. So I think that's really it. Um, wish this could have been meteor. Maybe my thought process would have been better if I wasn't sick. But so that's really it. So thanks for watching and blessed be.